Well, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you and to yours. This is the day that God has made, and we are choosing to rejoice and we are choosing to be glad. That doesn't mean that we don't have aches and pains. That doesn't mean that everything is zippity doo dah, zippity day. That doesn't mean that things aren't subject to change, but it simply means that in it all and through it all, I trust God. How about you? I pray that you're having a blessed week thus far. The weather is so crazy. It was so nice yesterday and on Monday and even this morning. And like now, it is cold. I had to go back and change my jacket. It's gotten cold outside. And so the weather is changing, the seasons are changing. And that's an encouragement to you and I that whatever we're going through, it is subject to change. It is subject to be altered. It is subject to get better. And I'm believing, God, that whatever you're facing in your life, that things are getting better. You guys know I believe in the power of confession. So I've already been praying it in my morning prayers. Things are getting better. Better in my home, better in my family, better in my finances, better with my friends, better on my job. Things are getting better. Better in my community, better in my country, better in pop. Things are getting better. I don't care what your natural eye sees. I don't care what your natural ears hear. You have to believe that by the power of God, things are and will get better. So I don't say things will. I've already declared things are getting better. And so I know I'm sure many of you saw on yesterday the guilty verdict for Derek Chauvin and all that has been transpiring from that terrible incident that happened with George Floyd, and how it sent chills and sent an alarm through our community and our country, and caused protesting and different things to bring about change because of the systemic racism that is in our land. And I am grateful to God that our union, our relationship is a testimony and an example that blacks and whites can work together, that you can be from different cultures and have different perspectives and yet and still work together in harmony. We are an example for the country right now. You understand? Somebody call Fox 43 and call WG. Maybe I'll call them when I get off the Wednesday word, and remind them that, hey, right here in downtown Lancaster, there is a black pastor and a predominantly white congregation, and yet we work together and we do what we need to do to be a blessing to our community and to our country. And that is a sign that you can end systemic racism. That yes, it does exist, but yes, it can change. And so we're grateful for that. On tomorrow is Earth Day. So celebrate Mother Earth. Make sure you're recycling. Go out and rake some leaves or do something to celebrate Earth. Watch the news. They said something about a meteor shower, I think on tonight or tomorrow. So you can check that out as well. Birthdays this week, we're celebrating Janice Moore's birthday on, when is it? The 23rd. The 23rd is her birthday, Friday, I believe. And so we're celebrating her birthday. And then today is Administrative Professional Day. And so if there's an administrative professional that you work with, or that you're married to, or that you're friends with, i.e. meaning a secretary, an assistant, an administrator, whoever they may be, celebrate them and let them know how much you appreciate all that they do for you. I remember those days. I was someone's administrative assistant, someone's assistant. And thanks be unto God, most of the time I had bosses that encouraged and celebrated me, or gave me something, for birthdays, or administrative professional day. And then there was some that didn't do it. And so make sure you celebrate them. I celebrate our administrative professionals that FRC is blessed with. I bless God for Janet and all that she does for us in the church office, and with the finances, and with the bulletins, and then putting up with me, and putting up with Dana, and putting up with Larry. She is a blessing to us. And also Nancy, who is our secretary of our consistory leadership team here at First Reform, does an awesome job with our notes, and does an awesome job keeping Bill and everybody in line. And so do me a favor. Would you send them an email or something, or a call or a text, and just say, hey, we celebrate you and we thank you for all that you do for us on Administrative Professional Day. We're continuing to keep Randy Riggs in our prayers. It was shared with us on Sunday, a former minister here who is in the hospital. And so we're praying a speedy recovery for him. And then on this Sunday, the Lancaster Association will have their spring meeting. And so 2 representatives from our church and myself, I'll be on for a little bit of the call. We'll be able to find out where the Lancaster Association is going, and they're going to have an election of new officers and different things like that. And so we'll make sure that the representatives can bring some information back to you that will be beneficial for you. Put on your radar in May. May is Pentecost Sunday. Pentecost Sunday is the 23rd. I believe we're wearing red. So on May 23rd, we're going to wear red for Pentecost Sunday. And then in June 20th, I'm told that First Reform will be celebrating 285 years from the time that log church was put up to now, where there's the brick church. 285 years. And look where God has brought you from, to see that it started as a log church and to the church that it is today, and even the history that you've made with electing me as your pastor. My persuasion is, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, and neither has it entered into the hearts of man, the things that are in store for First Reform. I am grateful to God to be your pastor, and grateful to God to be with you on this journey, and to watch FRC rise again. It will happen. It will happen. Things are getting better. That's going to be my new thing. I'm going to say it until you're tired of me saying it. Things are getting better. As soon as your spouse starts talking crazy, or a little heated fellowship, start looking and say, things are getting better. Say it to your kids. Say it to your grandkids. Say it to the folks at your job. Declare it all around you. Things are getting better. So, on Wednesday, I try to give you some word, and I've been trying to stay within our theme of being rooted and reaching in love, coming from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 17, which says, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, as you are being rooted and grounded in love. And so just a quick recap, our rooted and grounded in love conveys a theme dealing like with agriculture, that our congregation is grounded in the extravagant love of God, and that we are sharing that love, that we are reaching out in different ways. Our community meals are coming back in May. We're coming up with different avenues and different opportunities that you'll be able to serve. And so we want to be rooted, and we want to be reaching in love. And rooted and reaching, as I said, is an agricultural image that reflects the biblical text as of being more rooted. We want our roots to go deep, and we want our reach to go far. We want our roots to go deep, and we want our reach to go far. And we're doing that. We do that through our meals. We do that through our relationship with Fulton Elementary. We do that with our presence in the community. And so, first, well, do I want that one? Yeah. Second Corinthians chapter 9, verses 6 through 15. You can read it in your leisure, but it encourages us to reach out in love, reaching out in love. The gospel can be shared in an economic language. That is what Paul shares with us in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though they were rich, for thy sake became poor, so that through their poverty you may become rich. Christ modeled and encouraged and commanded generosity. But one of the key things that I see in that text is that Christ modeled and encouraged and commanded generosity, but Christ also shows you and I humility. Humility. I'm of the persuasion, I don't think Jesus and the disciples were broke. So if that was the case, they wouldn't have needed a treasurer. They wouldn't have been able to walk around and be able to feed the folks and take care of the folks. It takes money to do missions. It takes money to do ministry. And so Jesus is teaching you and I about humility, that when we humble ourselves like a child, you see things unfold. You see how God can work. I shared on Sunday how there was a stone in my life, how there was a season of doubt in my life. I hadn't spoken to my brother in like 2 or 3 years, my younger brother. And so I was able to find him on Friday while I went to DC, and was able to reconnect with him. And I'm on my way to go see him. And, I got all this stuff. So, well, you should have did this. And why you didn't call me? Or I had all this stuff I'm rehearsing I'm going to say. When I got there and got out of the car, the spirit of humility arrested me, grabbed me. And I said, hey, I blew it as a big brother. And even when I can't be there for you financially, I'll always be there for you as your brother. Humility goes a long way. Humility will open doors that your experience and your resume can't open. Humility will set you up on a date and put you in the arms or in love with someone that you could only dream of being with. Humility will allow someone to see you out of the crowd and pour favor or have favor on you. Humility takes you a long way. I'm reminded of the scripture in the Old Testament. It says, if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves, humble yourself, regardless of your degree, regardless of your age, regardless of your position, regardless of your possessions, regardless of your power, humble yourself. Seek my face. Turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven and will heal the land. I'm praying today that same humility that Christ had, that we'll have it as well. We'll have it on our jobs. We'll have it in our church. We'll have it in our community. We'll have it among our family. We will have humility. I'm telling you, humility, being humble, I'm a testimony to it. It will take you a long way. And not only will it take you, but it will keep you. You understand? That humility will keep you, because you don't want to get prideful. You don't want to get puffed up. You don't want to think you did it all by yourself. But as I say time and time again, to God be the glory for the great things God has done. I love you. I'm praying for you. And I will see you next Wednesday. Well, see you Sunday, and then see you next Wednesday by the grace of God. Would you do me a favor? Would you whisper a prayer for Pastor D this week? Would you whisper a prayer for Pastor Dana this week? Would you whisper a prayer for Larry and for Eileen and for Janet, and just call our names up before God? God, thank you for the staff of FRC. Cover the staff. Let us all walk and live in divine health, and let us continue to do the great ministry that he's called us to here at First Reformed Church. I love you, praying for you, and I again will see you by the grace of God. Take care. Be blessed.